Thank you. Looking forward to hearing these folks speak. Thank you.
Oh, I am too. This, Steve, we have put together some pretty good panels over the years, but I'm telling you, the range in this panel that we're dealing with tonight, the experience, the expertise in different areas, in different arenas, different approaches to basically the same thing. I am highly excited about our panel this evening. It could shake up to be one of the best panels I think we've ever had. If you're on our call right now and you have not been able to get somebody on the call, this is a great call to get them on. Maybe shoot a text or something, but we're going to jump right in. In tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about what top performers are doing to create massive growth in sales and recruiting. And I want you to understand, every single person that you are going to hear on the call tonight, our 7-person panel, every single one of these person was in the top 10 of some area of sales and recruiting, and many of these were in the top 5. So I just want you all to realize that you're going to be hearing from the best of the best, doing what they do best. And we're going to start off tonight with Mr. Dave Weiner. And Dave, nobody would have said anything would be easy. This is directly from Dave. And let's face it, it's not easy. From David's humble beginnings, working for his first ever female certified executive chef in Michigan, all David wanted was a chance to be more than most felt he could do, or most felt he could be. He entered the financial services arena 38 years ago, and over the past 38 years, we could say stud. Yeah, he's been one of the most consistent producers of our era, an individual whom actually earned with his own pen in 1 year over 7 figures. He has become an accomplished speaker. Late last fall, David joined our UFF team. You never know who will become a leader. Needless to say, Dave has truly become one of our leaders. And I could tell you this, Dave, just getting to know Dave, one of the kindest men that I've met, but if you want somebody to close the deal for you, I tell you what, this gentleman is an animal. He is a workaholic, loves his family, and somebody that I'm very privileged to be in business with. Dave, can we hear you there, my friend?
Oh, and
all right, Mr. Dave, you've got the floor, and you've got 5 to 6 minutes. Tell them how you're achieving this massive success. The overview in recruiting and sales. Thank you, Dave.
Well, I really want to share that it all begins very importantly with you becoming a client first. We did last fall. And I'm just going to share some of you're going to hear so many of our great stories in a few minutes, but we're doing a few things I feel over and above anybody would ever have dreamt of doing. This morning, I got into the office 45 minutes before our daily sales meeting, specifically to work with a brand new client out of Washington, D.C. It's a young school teacher, and she just got her inner coaching call last Friday. I spent some time with her Saturday before we did our training, and we do this with everybody. We spend probably 6 to 7 coaching sessions. And we're just getting some feedback right there. TK just came live there for a second.
That was just more of an intro.
So basically, yes, thanks, Steve. But basically, I want to tell you, we do this with everybody, folks. We spend probably 6 to 7 sessions after they become a client. And the only way you can really help them is if you're accustomed to opening up that program every day. There are 3 things that could literally kill this deal. And we teach that to the client from day one. That first thing, folks, is they got to use the program. And how do you lead that example? You got to lead it by yourself. Every absolute day, the first thing I look forward to is turning on the MMA, opening up my bank statement, seeing what's gone through, what kind of transactions we need to go move over to see, just like getting on a scale. Did I lose some debt last night, or did we make a decision and gain some debt last night? And that might sound silly, but once we got accustomed to that a few months ago, all of a sudden I had a authority, conversation ability that when we were talking to someone, a client, and we would do an appointment, and we got to the end, we knew. And if you've never watched Heidi or the 23-minute demo video or Mac give a demo, you got to know that this is more than just getting out of debt. This is the best money management budgeting tool looking into the future I have ever seen, bar none. And yes, guess what? Once you believe that, once you understand that, then you're unstoppable. You are extremely amazing at that point because people know when you're for real. People know when you're just trying to peddle something. You do not. It begins inside your heart. It's that belief factor. And even though we're only speaking for a couple of minutes today, are you a client? Are you heading towards a finish line right now that you're excited? Hey, I know what our finish line is. I can't believe the date. How about April 15th? That's supposed to be tax date, folks. April 15th, in 5 years, 2025, we got $580,000, that's including interest and everything, change debt to go. Not too shabby for a 5 more year run. And not that much discretionary income inside that structure. There's a little bit, a couple thousand a month. But I want to tell you something. I am ecstatic every time we work with a client and bring it to a close. And when you hear from the next person, and I don't know what they've got for an intro, but I am so proud of Sunny, who's our next speaker today. And Michelle Fuller, you know, she wasn't in sales. She has been a techie and she's done administration, but mainly she's done all the tech work for our group. And she sat there and worked side by side with me and watched me do, God knows, 50, 60 appointments, numerous transactions and sales and closings. And then all of a sudden, about 10 days ago, you know, I'm used to splitting my sales with Sunny because that's the partnership we have and as a team. And all of a sudden, I'm caught on an appointment. I can't get to one, but she had seen it so many times over and over again that she was able to take the whole thing by herself and do it, and I am so proud of her. And that skirt power, Sunny, that was the number 2 producer in all of the company last month. And that's the pride when you're building. When you can build someone to be better than you, that's nothing short of amazing. I turn it back to you, Mac, but thank you so much for a couple minutes I had.
Dave, always enjoy having you on the call. And just a couple things I'd like to point out. Are you a product of the product? Teach your clients what to expect. What does this product look like? You need to understand the product itself and be able to assist your clients. Belief in the operation of the product comes through usage of the product, and that will make you bulletproof. It will make you unstoppable when you truly get the mission-minded idea of what you really have to offer to people. And then I really love the last piece there, Dave. Mentor your people. Take the time. That's taking someone that has not done sales, and now they've done their two first personal sales, and they're moving on their way. And this was through mentorship. So I'm going to move over here to our next presenter that's going to be coming up, and that's going to be Miss Michelle Sunny Sangster Fuller. And I really hope she didn't have to write that out in elementary school across the top of her papers and everything that she did, because I have one of those handles also, Stuart McGalliard Saunders. So let's see if we can get Sunny here. Let's see if we can unmute her. Sunny, do we have you?
You do. Can you hear me?
Sunny, we hear you, and it is so lovely to speak to you again. I spoke to you earlier today. Thank you so much for willing to devote your time and your expertise, and just tell us what you're doing to experience this growth and what this means to you. What is kind of your process, and what are you just sticking to? So everybody, Miss Sunny Fuller, and that's what you like to go by, correct? Is Sunny.
Yeah, I go by Sunny, but it is a mouthful. So
Yeah, I got it. I got
Sunny
it. It's all
works
your
best.
time, about 5-6 minutes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you for your kind words, Dave. I mean, this experience, I came on board back in November. I've owned a digital marketing company for 15 years, and one of my clients brought me this product and introduced me to Dave and said, "Hey, can you guys can you help us with the marketing side of this?" And I was like, I would love to, but I would want to check it out because I'm not going to put my name on anything I don't believe in. And so I went through the debt-free day, and I actually I went and had my debt analysis done and everything. And I was like, wow, this is a really awesome product. Sure, I'll definitely come help you guys do this. And then my husband and I started using the product, just like Dave talked about being a product of the product. And it was so amazing that I couldn't help but just start sharing it within my family. And then I continued on with coming side by side with Dave, which has been an amazing experience because I wanted to see how he was doing it so I could help with that aspect of it and getting all the kinks worked out and everything. And so since the beginning of March, I've been shadowing Dave. And so we have spent many, many, many hours together, watching the master and how he does it. And I could probably do that first do that first session in my sleep now. But I loved it so much that I was like, you know what? This is something that's so powerful. It's got to be shared. And I was able to, like Dave said, the first time he was in a meeting and he was like, here, go to do this for me. And so I was like, all right, here we go. So I jumped in and I did it. And it's just kind of happened very organically. It was not where I intended to be. Like you said, I don't have a background in sales. My background is in marketing, but it's a very much, there's a synergy there. And I am just passionate to share the product because it does make such a difference in people's lives. And I think the biggest thing for me, not coming from sales, is that I'm just sharing. I am just, I've got a fantastic product. And if it works for you, great. If it doesn't, if it's not a good fit, that's okay too. I'm not here to push it on anybody. I'm just here to show it and to share it. And if it works for you, fantastic. And if not, then that's okay. Next. And so not to get hung up on the nose, I guess, because it's okay. It's on to the next person that can actually use it and appreciate it. And so, and it's just doing that activity every day, just getting up and, showing up for my appointments, even if they're no shows, still get there, be 100%. And like Dave said, go over and beyond. I'm still texting our clients and, when they have questions and being a part of their lives, which is really, really cool. And so thank you guys for the opportunity to share this product.
Sunny, we've had some conversations. We've done some compliance things together, and I just really wanted you to know how proud I was of you. It's mind-boggling to see where you were, and you finished in the top 3 of the company. That blows me away. I forgot to read your little dossier, too. I just want to say that she's owned her own digital marketing agency for over 15 years. She's helped hundreds of clients market many different products and programs. The Money Max account is the first program in all those years that has inspired me to start sharing a product myself. In other words, not just doing the IT. Her hit point, Sarah, I want you all to remember, is a duplicatable process is very important, and finding a mentor, finding someone that you can observe their presentations. You may need 2 training sales. You may need 20. 2 is the limit, but the reality is, get your training until you feel confident to go out. Be willing to split your sales and listen and learn and just listen to things over repetitive nature of sales. When you have that belief like Sunny has and what she expressed, it kind of takes a lot of the pressure out of the game, because it's more like, look, I don't want to hard close you. I just want to share this with you. If it works out for you, great. And if it doesn't, we can part friends, great, but I think you should at least take the time to take a look at that. And I think that comes from a servant's heart, from a caring heart. if I'm not mistaken there, Sonny. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
You know, and so it's either a good fit for them, or if it's not, it takes off the pressure. Activity every day, daily activity is what will spawn success. And just outperform the other people and try to connect the best you can with your clients to build a relationship with those clients. So, Sonny, I hope I surmised that pretty well, and I want to thank you for jumping on, and thank you for your insight and all your hard work.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Not a worry in the world. Thank you all so much. Okay, so let's move this right along. Our next individual is Mr. Dave Senor, and Mr. Dave Senor has been involved on and off in the financial industries for over 30 years of experience. He was an up-and-coming national sales director with a company called Primerica, many of you may have been familiar with. When at age 36, he was sidelined with a health battle that would last for almost the next 20 years. Talk about a fighter. Once he got back on his feet, literally began looking for his next business adventure. Nothing sparked his interest until last August when a gentleman by the name of Brian Nates showed him the opportunity with UFinancial. He feels very blessed to have been given another opportunity and is making absolutely the most of it. This is also a gentleman I've spoken to many times, just a phenomenal gentleman, kind-hearted, loves his family. I can't speak enough about the people that we're putting on here, and I know it just sounds like I'm repeating the same thing, but I want you all to know when we put people on here, it's not just that they have the experience in the field. These are good business people with good ethics and good tactics. And so I want to open up the floor to Dave Senior. Dave Senor, are you there, Dave?
I am here. Matt, can you hear me okay?
Hey, and I can see you okay. Look how good you look.
You know, I got to look at the camera. I got to be able to see my audience. So,
All right, so Dave, what are you doing to experience massive growth in your business, sales, and recruiting? You got the floor 5 to 6 minutes.
thank you, sir. Well, you know, my message tonight is whether you're full-time, part-time, or spare time, whatever time you're allocating to this business, you got to work it full bore, like there's no tomorrow. Again, it can be part-time, it can be spare time, but whatever you allocate, you work it. And don't kid yourself. Don't think you're getting busy with stuff when you're not. So I'm now 60 years old. I know I only look like I'm 59, but unless the Lord tarries, I don't have a ton of time here to hit my goals and reach financial independence. Like Mac just said, the last time I was in a position similar to this, I was in my mid-30s. And, you know, just like you guys, you young bucks that are in your 30s now, yeah, you work hard, you go for it, but in the back of your mind, you know you've got time, right? I mean, you can get there eventually. You figure, you know, you got time to do. Well, when I got sick, and after having a 20-year battle, and then my Lord and Savior graciously blessing me with restored health, all I have to do is think about all of those lost hours, days, months, and years, and that's all the motivation I need to get after it. In fact, I would encourage any of you that have similar goals and aspirations, maybe you're a little younger, don't screw around with this thing. It can be all taken away in a flicker. I'm telling you, I know firsthand. Now, we all try to adhere to proper priorities, right? We hear, you know, God first, family second, and business third. I try to adhere to that best I can. But the time that I put third to the business, that time is precious time, and I can't take it lightly. That amount of time, during that amount of time, I have to produce. I have to put in max effort and make sure I'm growing my business. I just can't waste those hours, especially now at age 60. So for me, whatever time it is, after God and family, it's go time. No excuses. As far as what I'm doing during these work hours, man, I just focus on the things that will grow my business. And what will grow my business? Building an agency. And how do I build an agency? By recruiting agents. It's not rocket science, right? Now, I know others have heard me tell this before, and I know some people get a little intimidated when we start sharing our numbers and all that. But I'm here to tell you, my message is a message of hope. If I can do it, you know, the old adage, you can do it. Even if you're part-time, I believe there's people on this call tonight that could do numbers bigger than me, part-time. And I'm going to prove it to you. Okay, so as of the end of April, I've recruited 98 personal agents since I started with the company. But before you roll out the red carpet and have a parade for me, I've had another 398 people to date tell me no. So let me show you the numbers. So I joined the company on July 23rd last year. The awesome Brian Nate sold me the dream and showed me that I could still build something big. So from July 23rd through April 30th of this year, I've counted it up, guys. That's 192 business days. That means I'm taking off weekends and holidays. So I had 192 days to work. And during that time, I've talked to 496 people about this opportunity. I keep track of it. I want to know. I want to know my metrics. I want to know my numbers. But if you do the numbers on this, if you do simple math, some of you've already probably beat me to it, I've been averaging 2.58 people per business day. Now, who in this meeting tonight couldn't pitch this opportunity to 2.58 people every business day? It can be done. In fact, Steve Little, I think it was Steve Little the other day, said something very powerful on the Saturday training. He said, we are in the work creation business, not the work processing business. So how do we create? How do I create? Well, how have I been able to pitch this opportunity to that whopping number of 2.58 people per business day? 6 quick and easy steps. 1, I prospect every single day. 2, let me take a drink of water. 2, I send information to those that respond positively. 3, I follow up to gauge interest. 4, I invite them to the next event, either a Zoom meeting with me or an op meeting. Guys, we've got Steve Croft and Charles Carlton that are willing on their time and their dime to build your business for you. Please, you've got to plug people into that. These guys, they blow me away. I would rather have them explain it to people than me. So I just try to get people on those 2 calls. And then I follow up and close. And number 6, probably the most important one, I rinse and repeat every business day. So I'm going to repeat them again in case you're writing them down, even though, as usual, when you hear me, I don't give you anything very profound. I just tell you what I'm doing. I prospect, number 1. I send info to those that are interested, number 2. I follow up to gauge interest, and some of you have heard me, I use the 2 initials RP, right? Relentless pursuit. And I truly believe you got to do that. You got to be relentless in your pursuit. Do it professionally, but be relentless. So number 3, I follow up to gauge interest. Number 4, I invite the ones that are showing interest to the next event, either a meeting with me or maybe even a meeting with my upline, Brian, Heidi, Tom, whoever. Or I'm going to get them to the op meeting. Then 5, I follow up and close. And 6, I rinse and repeat every business day. And there isn't anybody on this call tonight that could not do what I'm doing. That's it. It's not so much what I'm saying. It's not so much what I'm sending them. Now, don't get me wrong. Those things are important. You need to use professional, compliant material and learn and use effective scripts. I'm a firm believer in that. But at the end of the day, it's making sure that whatever time you have for this business, you work it. And remember, it's a precious commodity. You never know when it can be taken away. Believe me, back when I was in my 30s, I thought I was an invincible, and honestly, I thought it was just a matter of time for me to get there. And again, 20 years later, I'm begging you, I'm pleading with everybody on the call tonight, don't waste the commodity of time you have available to you. Work this like there's no tomorrow. And I know I will until the Lord tells me it's time to stop. So with that, Mac, I want to thank you for giving me some time tonight. Let me turn it back over to you.
Dave, thank you so much. And, Dave, we've had you on a couple calls, and you're always so concise, and you have such great information. You do deliver a message of hope, especially with, where you started with this business and what you've been able to do. And it's just been by what you said, that constant activity and, mentorship that you're doing with other people. But just to kind of sum up everything, with everything Dave went through, he has a mindset that, we have to make the best of every single minute that we have. And when you go through tragedy, many times tragedy can create motivation and create new opportunity. He's a man of God with God, family, and business. Truly believes if he can do it, anybody can do it. Looking at those numbers that's over 500 people he spoke to. He recruited 98 of those. That's a 1 in 5, which is actually really strong for recruiting. 2.58 people joining every business day for him during that period. And his breakdown is prospect every day and prospect intentionally. Send info to the people that are excited about it. Follow up with those people that you send the info to. Invite to the next meeting or presentation that is available to get them engaged and moving forward. Follow up and close with those individuals, and then rinse and repeat every day. I don't think I missed anything on there. Did I, Dave?
No, you said it better than I did. Thank you.
No. Hey, we love having you on the call. Once again, thank you for all of your hard work and the numbers that you put up, and we'll be reviewing all of that information on next week's call for the winners of prizes and the promotions and all of that. So, Dave, once again, thank you for devoting your time and your expertise to the call.
Thank you.
All righty. Let's get on to our next individual. Our next individual is Mr. TK Tran. Now, TK is a gentleman I've known for many, many years. He's just coming back on board with us. And if you notice, a lot of you are going to say, well, I thought you were giving me the best of the best, and I've got a guy on here that's a senior associate. Well, let me tell you something. Don't underestimate. What he did this last month was pretty mind-boggling. What he is on pace to do is mind-boggling. And I wanted you all to also hear from an individual that started right at associate and has now moved to their first level of senior associate, and what they're doing to build their business as well in that same context. So TK Tran made his thing for me very short. I came here from France at age 13 and not knowing any English, and got expelled my first day of school. Troublemaker. Today, 35 years later, found something to believe in and put my life into, and that's the Money Max account, and I'm sure that's some other things that he may enlighten you on. But TK also wanted me to show a little slide for him, so I'm unmuting. Mr. TK, do we have you there, my friend?
Absolutely, Mac. I'm right here.
All right, we're going to go on to your slide, and everybody, this is Mr. TK Tran. TK, it's your floor for 5 to 6 minutes.
All right. I'm very grateful actually to be here, but we really follow a very, very simple principle. The one thing that really sold me coming back here, number one, was what the program has done for me. And I made a decision not to be selfish and actually go out there to share with others what the program can do for them as it did for me. So I looked at all the tools here in the company, and the way it was presented to me, the one thing that I fell in love with was the technology and the accountability that we have here at UFF. And I've been using Zoom for over 11 years. Zoom is nothing new. I mean, with the financial firm that we're with, we use Zoom. We started that firm with using the Zoom. And now that we had the pandemic, Zoom is becoming like a big deal. However, coming here, a few other agents introduced me to a few other tools. One of them is the Calendly, and then the other one is the Rapid Funnel. And when I looked at the Rapid Funnel, I started to send videos, and I realized that after sending the first videos, I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. So I had to look at it and ask myself, well, why is it that I'm not getting the results that I want? And reanalyze. So I go back to the 9 modules, which I suggest everybody to send all their new agents to, the 9 modules, and I zeroed in on 2 of the modules. One is module number 5, and 2 is module number 6. In my opinion, and guys, this is just my opinion, module number 5 and 6 is probably the most important 2 modules if you're planning on using Rapid Funnel as your tool to market your business. So I went back, and we changed the way that we get the commitment, the way that Steve Croft, I just know how to copy, guys. Steve Croft says one simple thing. If I send you a video, will you watch it? And you say it, and they say yes. Try to say it a second time. If they say yes twice, and they commit, once you send the video, you want to make sure you follow up. You want to make sure you let them know, I'm going to be calling you after you watch this video, and we're going to get together to see what you like best. So by using these tools all together, with the expertise of Charles Carton has this one slide where he talks about the pop quiz, whether the Money Max account is a good fit for you as a consumer or as a business owner. I think that's probably the most powerful slide in the entire opportunity overview in terms of qualifying a person whether we're going to do business with them or have them as a client. So when you combine all these tools together, and then you use a tool that we used back in the days in 2006, I know Mac knows this tool, which is the business review card. That's the one that we used to use in the lunch, learn, and leverage back in the days, which I believe we'll do lunch, learn, and leverage again once the pandemic is over. And if you use the business review card properly, here's a couple pointers for you guys. Number one, you won't be chasing nobody. They'll be chasing you. Number two, you don't have to ask them what they want. They will tell you what they want. And number three, they'll set the appointment for you, so you don't have to chase them. So if you got these three components in business, and then you use all the technology, how can you possibly go wrong when you put a trainee and put him through the system? How could you not make him a trainer? And at the end of the day, if you really break down the math between a senior associate and a certified trainer, just remember this number. It's 321 for senior. Just add one more cell for certified trainer and then 3 online classes. Technically, it's really one thing. It's not 2 things. That's the way we teach it to our agents. And if you can do it in less than 35 days, that's great. I personally did it in 11 days. And we're getting our guys to reduce that to 7 days. Right now, we have 11 people running for the class on Saturday. And I know for a fact that at least 7 of them are already going to make it. I'm still working on the other 4. But at the end of the day is how many 321 plus 1 trainers can you produce? You know, our leadership on the 10 a.m. call shared with us one thing that was very profound. If you yourself requalify certified trainer month in, month out for 12 months, that's close to a $50,000 a year income. But if you go teach 2 others that do the same thing as you, it's very close, if not a very minimal $100,000 a year. And all you have to do is have 2 other people recertify 4 sales a month. Everybody 4 sales a month. You do the math. It's amazing what our compensation plan can do. Not even reaching the executive level yet. This is just at the minimum of the levels, which is awesome. So with that, I turn it back to you, Matt.
TK, I wanted you on this call so badly, and you did not disappoint. Excellent information. And just to surmise for, TK, he's doing the majority of his business over web conferencing. He ran into a difficulty looking at why he was not seeing a good response from Rapid Funnel, which forced him to go back and review, and then just came up with some very simple statements. Sharing makes him happy, just sharing the information. But went back to what you're going to hear a lot, and you've already heard: duplicatable process, and then send the videos and make sure you follow up. He did this in 11 days, made it to a senior associate. He has people tracking for 7 days right now. And your goal in TK's mind is build as many 321 plus 1 trainers as you possibly can. And that's your daily activity, and that'll begin the fire and start your business. So TK, always excellent information. So glad you could make the call with us, and I'm sure we'll be seeing some big things from you coming in the next few months.
Thank you, Matt.
You're quite welcome. Well, people, I've been saying a little bit too much in the middle, so I need to roll this along a little bit. We're running behind. I want to try to end right on the hour, but I want to give everybody their due time. And so the next individual that we're going to hear from is Miss Debbie Johnson. Now, Debbie Johnson is a mission-driven entrepreneur, has built large organizations in several different networking companies. She credits that success to helping others reach their goals and reaching hers through that effort. She's also the owner and founder of BDT Marketing Solutions, a marketing company focused on providing marketing solutions for small businesses and corporate clients since 2009. I've had multiple conversations with Debbie Johnson, and had some compliance conversations and some just getting to know conversations. And once again, just a wonderful lady, someone that just has a spark about her when you talk to her. So we're going to unmute Miss Debbie Johnson here. And Debbie, do we have you?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We hear you perfectly, and we have your little picture up on the screen. And so, Debbie, tell everybody what you're doing to experience massive or explosive growth in your business and recruiting, and your floor for 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, I wish I had some secret sauce or something that I could share with everybody so that they could go out and just, make the sauce and eat it and we'd be all done, right? But there really is no secret here for us. We've been fortunate, my partner and I, and you're going to hear from him in just a minute, Jeff Hatcher, we've been fortunate to attract an amazing team. And this team has really embraced the analysis process. So that's really given us the ability to be able to do those training sales, to meet these new agents that have come on board, to get some sales in the process, but more importantly, to be able to reach down and connect with those people and to hear what their goals are and then to work with them to accomplish their goals. Jeff and I have a little bit of a disadvantage in some ways, I guess you could say, because we aren't a product of the product, Mac. We are both debt-free.
Yep.
And so we haven't purchased the product. And so at first we had to really, dive in and learn a lot more about how that analysis process worked and how the product itself worked to be able to do a really great job at doing the demo. But I think the important thing here is that we know the value of being debt-free. We know the freedom that it gives you. We know the choices that it gives you and the peace of mind that it gives you. And we just every day go out and try to share that message. As I said, I'm mission-driven, and I am really on a mission to reach out to as many people as possible and put them into a position where they don't have to worry about debt anymore. And so really that's it as far as the recruiting side. But really, I have to give the credit to our team because we have worked with our team and they have just worked so tirelessly out there to begin to, bring additional people to the table. And through that, we've been able to grow a really good sized organization. And I'm just thrilled with that.
All righty. So let me just ask you this. If you were just going to give one little hopeful, cheerful statement to the people in the field, an inspirational statement, a statement of cheer, what would that be? What would you want to leave people with what you just told me?
Well, again, it's back to realizing that you can reach your own goals by help others to achieve theirs. I live by that. Every day we're reaching out as best that we can to find out who is it down there that we can help. Show me who I can help today. And if you go about your day with that in mind, you can't help it too well. And you're going to have a great day at the same time. So that would be my inspiration.
Yeah, it's once again, what I'm hearing from you is a lot of the servant heart. You're not just looking at your client as a paycheck, and you're not looking as a product as just a way to make a buck. It's something that means something to you deeply that you truly believe you need to share with other individuals and is life-changing for those individuals. And I commend you and I applaud you. Man, you and Jeff are just coming on like steamrollers. And I am so excited to see what the next couple months hold for the two of you. Now, if I'm not mistaken, you and Jeff Hatcher have never actually met, correct?
That was a secret, Mac. I didn't want everybody to know that. I knew who would believe that.
But it is the truth, is it not?
It is the truth. We have not yet met in person.
Okay, now I just between you and I just want to give people a little bit of this because we hear all of the time, I can't do this business. The person that recruited me is 3 states away. I don't have somebody next to me. I don't, I know you connected with Jeff in a very, very special way business-wise in another business. But could you just speak to that, the fact that the person doesn't have to be right there and that if you can make that connection, develop it and see where it goes? And can you speak to that just a moment?
Sure. I think that it's so important that you do have somebody that you can lock arms with. It can be your trainer. It can be your executive director. It can be anybody really, another person in the business that you can bounce ideas off of. But it doesn't matter where they are, because like you said, Jeff and I have never met. We spend a lot of time on the phone. We spend a lot of time on Zoom. We're like-minded. We compete against each other. We share our successes. We spend time together griping when things aren't going well. But in the end, it's so important to have somebody that you know has your back. And there's nobody that I'd rather partner with than Jeff Hatcher.
Yep. That was really what I wanted to get out of you, because that's something I was really hearing. And in speaking to Jeff, he feels the same way. People do this with a servant-driven heart, do this with a mission mindset, do this as a crusade, and just find someone, anyone that you can be mentored by and you can teach and learn from. And I love what you said there, Debbie. You know he has your back, and that is just huge in the business world today. So, Deb, thank you so much for your expertise, your time on the call, and just stay out there doing what you're doing, because you're doing remarkable. It's fine. Next week we're going to go over numbers. So those of you that are on this call, get on next week's call. I think you're going to be shocked to hear the kind of numbers that Debbie and Jeff put up and the people on this call. So, Debbie, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, Matt.
Yes, ma'am. All right, we're going to roll over to Mr. Jeff Hatcher, and this is Debbie's partner. And Jeff, as you can tell, is an animal lover. There's his buddy there on his shoulder. And Jeff is somebody I've come to appreciate, done some compliance work with him as well, had some conversations, shared a little bit of himself with me today, and found we had a little bit of common ground. And this is Debbie Johnson's partner. And again, these two have never met. So Jeff Hatcher, I know you've been doing some great things with Deb, and I'm going to unmute you now. Are you there? You there, Jeff?
Yes.
All right, Jeff. What are you doing to experience massive growth in sales and recruiting in your partnership? And you have 5 to 6 minutes, and it's your floor.
Okay. Well, I just want to say something real quick, because I know Debbie has to get off to go do an analysis. She's got to make us some money. So I just want to say this real fast. You know, she was saying what she felt about me as a partner. I want to give you a statement that just absolutely epitomizes this lady. As you know, I couldn't even ordered up a better partner, but there's an old statement I heard a long time ago that said, don't aspire to be the best on the team, aspire to be the best for the team. And that's exactly what she does nonstop. And it's just such a pleasure to work with her in and out. And it's just, so I just wanted to make sure that we got that in before she left. But I think it's just so important. I know she knows I feel that about her, but it's just amazing watching her, you know, run and lead this team. So, you know, I agree with what she said. You know, there's no secret sauce, no magic bullet, as they say. You know, we've just learned to adjust as we go, Mac. And you know, it's really funny. I had all this stuff in my brain. I was going to talk about the Charles Carlton approach to getting everyone to complete the 3-2-1 out of the gate, like TK just mentioned, and which I firmly believe in. But after the first speaker, Dave, started talking, and he made that comment about, you know, that everybody must have the MMA account. You must be a client, and you need to have that. And Debbie just, you know, kind of emphasized that just a moment ago. But neither her nor I have it. And the reason I want to bring that up again is not to brag that we're debt free. Like she said, it's an amazing feeling not having any debt or anything. But I just wanted, the point of bringing that up is to tell you, don't pass up people like us. You know, share this amazing opportunity. You know, if you had prejudged us, you know, and you hadn't reached out, you know, you'd have about 216 less people on your team right now and one less executive director. So don't prejudge. I mean, go after these people, even if they can't use the MMA account now, because they might be able to use it down the road. But where I kind of wanted to go after, we had talked about that a little bit, Mac, is that I have just, it's very seldom, you know, in my entire career, it's been very seldom that you can actually see just a true win-win type situation. You know, typically when you're evaluating a business opportunity, there's always a give and take, and there's no give here. It's just phenomenal. You know, for the life of me, I simply can't understand why someone would say no to this program or to the opportunity or both. I mean, this is an absolute triple-edged sword, and I'll explain that statement. You know, the number one is the program. which is an absolute no-brainer. This thing takes all the emotions and the guesswork out of getting out of debt. And obviously it's proven to be the fastest way to zero, and saving a person tens of thousands of dollars, not to mention countless years. But I look back over my personal payoffs of all of my properties. Most of you know that I'm very involved in Airbnb type properties. And I just wonder now, after seeing this program, how much time and money I could have saved if someone would have presented this program to me a long time ago. Now, number two is, you have the incredible agent opportunity that pays the field the lion's share of the revenue. I mean, you can earn a 5-figure monthly income within months of joining this company, with some effort, of course. But there are countless examples of this now, so you don't have to look far. And then the final aspect of this, and the third edge, if you will, is that it's a home-based business. For $99 right now, or $0 if you're a first responder or a veteran, I mean, do you truly understand what that means for you? Do you truly know how to present that to a prospect? If you don't, then get educated, because it means thousands to you annually. I have never seen an opportunity like this, not brick and mortar. And I don't know if I've ever shared this with you, Mac, but I started a mobile medical screening company many, many years ago. I spent well in excess of $200,000 on equipment before even seeing the first patient. I had to, we were doing abdominal aortic aneurysm scans, carotid artery disease, ankle brachial index, this peripheral arterial disease, et cetera, et cetera. But we can only see X amount of patients in any given day, or in any given hour, excuse me. And then, of course, there's only X amount of hours in a day. So needless to say, the return on the investment was so far down the road, it was incredible, let alone profit. Debbie and I were in the green with UFinancial in our first week.
Wow.
And so can anybody on this call. So that's enough of my sermon. Thanks for letting me share.
Jeff, great chatting with you today. Again, great numbers for you and Dad. Just doing phenomenal things out there. Just keep doing what you're doing. And as I've said before, if you already need any kind of assistance, always feel free. You can reach out to me or anyone. But great words there. And I just wanted to let you all know, Jeff is a United States Marine, and you're never truly not a Marine once you're a Marine. So he is a Marine. He's a private pilot of land and seaplane ratings. Former stunt pilot, performing in multiple air shows annually. 24-year consulting career in the biotechnology and pharmaceutical medical device industry, and in several Airbnb type properties, and all have no mortgages on any of them. So a huge believer in being debt free. And I think the message there is, don't avoid the people that are already debt free. They have a great story. They did it the hard way. And they can obviously see the value of what this is. So, Jeff, thank you so much for your time and your expertise. All right, let's round it out, people. Our last person is a very good friend of mine, somebody I've known again for many, many years. This gentleman is a class act, I have to say. Every time I've talked to him, this gentleman does not need to call me sir, and calls me sir every time he talks to me. And that's with a lot of people on the call. And I really love this gentleman's demeanor, what he's done, what he's been able to accomplish with his business. The numbers that you're going to see next week that he put up are just astronomical. He has found a niche and a groove that he's going to talk to you a little bit about. And so I'd like to bring on Mr. Charles Lenoir. Now, Charles, are you there where you can hear us?
Yes, I am, Matt. Can you hear me?
Charles, you are loud and clear. What are you doing for massive growth in sales and recruiting? 5 to 6 minutes. It is now your floor, my friend.
All right. Well, thanks, Mac, for that introduction and for the privilege of being able to speak on tonight's call. I actually found a copy of my original agent enrollment paperwork a few weeks ago, and wow, I have been with the company since 2006, and I can say it has truly, truly been a blessing to me. I mean, it's hard to believe I started this journey like 14 years ago, but we are not done yet, all right? I have an amazing team of people that know what this program do for families, and we are on a crusade to share this message to help as many people as we can get out of financial bondage. Now, there's a quote by Rudyard Kipling from the Jungle Book, and it goes like this: for the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. So shout out to my personal team, the SMGT, for being my wolf pack. Now, having said that, I know I don't have a lot of time tonight, and you know what they say about the last speaker. I'm probably standing between you and a cold beer, some chow, or sleep or something. So I will be brief. All right, but I was asked to share a little bit about what I'm doing, and for the most part, I'm using all the great training the company provides us. Now, there is one thing or two that I'm doing a tad bit differently, and that is I leverage social media platforms as a way to connect with people. Now, you may be asking, well, Charles, why should anyone care about social media? Well, I hate to state the obvious, but you can just read the headlines. You know, we are living in unprecedented times right now, okay? I mean, just a few months ago, you could go meet somebody in a coffee shop or invite someone to an event to hear about our program and our amazing opportunity. Now, we have to be careful of even going outside and having human-to-human contact. But what if you could connect with people online using social media? Okay, you've got Facebook, you got YouTube, you got Twitter, you got LinkedIn. For example, I use Facebook to connect with family, friends, coworkers, business partners, classmates, military buddies, you name it. And I'm sure you also too do that. But listen, there are nearly 3 billion people actively using Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or Messenger each month. That includes 2.6 billion that are using Facebook alone, and more than 2.3 billion using at least one of their services every day. 1.73 people on average log onto Facebook daily and are considered daily active users, okay? Folks, Facebook is like one big online party or one big social event that you don't have to worry about violating social distancing rules, all right? And you can easily take advantage of the number of Facebook users you can connect with and let them know what the Money Max system has done for you. I mean, there are so many ways to connect with other people on Facebook, starting with your own personal profile page. You can set that up for free and begin to engage. You can also set up a business page, okay? Now, me personally, I use my personal page and I can post how excited I am about eliminating debt and how that is helping me and my family. And so what happens is I get people asking me all the time, well, what is it that you're doing? Now I've got somebody engaged with me about what I'm doing. So you share your story about what this program and what this company is doing for you and your family, and you will get people asking about it. Then there is other things like Facebook Live, where you can do a live video on your page and connect with friends and the friends of your friends. You know, share your story in a live video. Facebook has it set up where people will see that video. They'll hear your message. And even when you don't think that they're listening, people are listening. And guess what? When your message is strong enough, people will actually try to contact you, reach out and say, hey, what is it you got going on? What are you doing? I'd like to know more about that, okay? You can conduct calls, even FaceTime, using the Facebook Messenger app, okay? Plus, Facebook also has so many other things, groups and ads. I mean, you can go on and on about the ways you can engage on Facebook. Now, all you have to do is really have the right message, and you can attract the right people to you, okay? Then you can introduce them to what we do and what the Money Max account can do and to the opportunity. Now, another reason I use social media platforms like Facebook is it helps me extend my warm market. See, your warm market is everyone you've met and know to some extent, you know, your friends, your families, acquaintances, etc. But your warm market will provide you with the best source of leads for your business because they already know, like, and trust you. Now, if you ask them to take a look at our program or our product or opportunity, they will usually say yes. Yeah, I'll take a look at it. Okay. Now, the main problem with your warm market is at some point you may be limited, right? You kind of talked to a lot of them and you've kind of gone through a lot of them. Okay. You only know so many people. But so when that happens, all right, when you seem to start to warm out of your warm market prospects or people that you could talk to, okay, it's easy to connect with people on social media and expand your friends list, okay? So how does that look? How can you connect with people on Facebook? What do you say? How do you break the ice? Well, first thing you really have to do is just start commenting and talking to people on their own posts and reply to their comments, okay? I'm always looking for people who are sound, intelligent, have similar interests and goals I do. I'm a military veteran, so I like to connect with other veterans. I like to connect with people who like sports, you know. I'm looking to create genuine relationships, so I always make those comments unique, honest, and meaningful, okay? So when I connect with them, then I use Facebook's features and platforms to be able to communicate with them using Messenger, for example. I'll send them a direct message, hey, would you like to connect and be friends? All right, and I just say something simple like, hey, I saw something you said or something you commented on, and I really like what you said, and I thought we'd be cool to connect with each other. All right, once you connect with somebody, then you can actually continue to engage with them and befriend them the same way you would if you walked on the street and you met somebody for the first time. Now, let me say this, just don't overdo it, okay? If they act like they don't want to talk to you much or you didn't keep the conversation short, you can always pick up with it again later. And remember, your goal is not to pitch or sell them in your conversation, okay? You don't worry about trying to position yourself or try to drive the conversation in a way that will get them set up for a pitch. People are especially sensitive to those tactics and will be able to detect them from a while away. So just think of yourself as two professionals connecting and helping each other out and sharing your experiences, all right? It's much easier to connect with people when you think of them as your peers rather than as prospects. Relationships take time to grow, guys. They take time to grow. And if you do things right, they will eventually ask you about what you do. And guess what? Now you can talk to them about the opportunity, or you can talk to them about how we can help them eliminate debt. Now, listen, in closing, I'll just say this. You have to be careful with social media. Social media is not, and how we engage on social media may not be for everybody. For example, no one likes to be spammed online, okay? Your focus has to be building genuine relationships and not foaming at the mouth about our program and our opportunity. If you do that, you could be violating the policies of most social media platforms, okay? So in parting, I'll just say this. I'll leave you with kind of three things. One, don't be afraid to embrace social media. It can be your friend, all right? But you do need to develop the skills in order to be able to do things right. Two, find a social media platform that you like and master it. Most of y'all are probably already on Facebook. But remember, don't try to be on all of them. A jack of all trades is a master of what? None. So don't try to be doing everything and be on every platform and spread yourself thin. Just pick one and master it. And three, invest in your personal development to acquire those skills to maneuver through these platforms. Read some books, take some courses. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there online that you can read about how to engage people on Facebook and any of these other platforms. Okay, so if you do that, the whole experience will be better for you. And the final thing I'll just tell you is have fun, have fun, have fun. Back over to you, Mac.
Hey, Charles, always a pleasure, man. Great to have you on the call. Again, we're going to be going over some numbers next week, so your numbers were just rocking. Thank you for your information. And just real quick, Charles is a retired military officer that served in the U.S. Army and has over 24 years plus of service. Is also a full-time real estate investor that owns multiple rental properties all across North America and has studied multiple mediums for marketing over the past 10 years. An absolute gentleman. To all of my panelists that were on the call this evening, thank you so much for devoting your time and your expertise to make this call such a success. Charles, thank you so much for jumping on. All righty, so winner's mindset, we're just going to round it out. Positive attitude and excitement. Business, that's how you're going to become successful. Believe that you are the messenger of life-changing news. What you have to share can change your client's life forever. What you have to share can financially change generations. You have to believe in this product. Just like Jeff and Debbie said, you don't have to own it to believe in it. You just have to understand what's going on, but owning it, definitely, if you don't understand it and you do need it, you should buy it. You should own it. I cannot be defeated. I will not stop. I am mission-minded to buy America back one family at a time. And yes, Debbie, I know that'll look familiar to you on the screen, even though you had to jump off the call, but I stole this from Debbie's tagline on her email, and that's a pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity, and an optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. It was said that way by Winston Churchill, but our own Charles Carlton said it this way: stay away from negative people. They have a problem for every solution. I want to thank everybody for joining us for the call tonight for what top performers are doing to create massive growth in sales and recruiting. From Mr. Steve Smith and myself. Steve, you still there?
I am, my friend. Great job, everybody.
All right. Any little closing last words? Just want to say goodbye. We're running over.
Nope, just, hey, thanks, everybody. Let's have a great May. Next week, get everybody on that you can. We're going to go over recognition, what people did last month, bonus pools, income, all types of promotions, all type of recognition. Have everybody on. It's going to be a fun time. Thanks.
Thank you, Steve. Let's get out there and do it big. Let's get out there and do it right. But at the very least, let's get out there and do something right now. This is Max Saunders and Steve Smith saying bye-bye for now.
Night.